You've probably heard this line a million times, right? At funerals, in movies, maybe even stitched on a pillow somewhere. But what if I told you that inside this one ancient sentence, there's a powerful formula for finding calm in our kind of chaotic modern lives? Today, we're going to deconstruct Psalm 23, verse 1, to unlock that promise of peace.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. There's just something so comforting in those words, isn't there? A sense of peace that's been connecting with people for thousands of years.
But where does that power really come from? I mean, how can a line written in a completely different world, a different time, still speak so directly to our anxieties today? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack.
Okay, so to really get the power of this verse, we have to start at the beginning, with its foundation, the role of the shepherd. Seriously, everything else hinges on this one single image. The Lord is my shepherd. Now, this phrase is so much more than just poetic language. It's a really specific and powerful claim that completely reframes how we think about our relationship with a higher power. It is the key that unlocks the meaning of the entire psalm. You know, our modern idea of a shepherd doesn't really do it justice. Back then, a shepherd was a total provider. They weren't just a guide, they were a protector, they were the source of food and water, and they knew every single one of their sheep, personally, intimately. And that shift in perspective is absolutely crucial. It transforms the idea of God from, some distant, remote authority figure into an intimate provider, someone who's deeply and personally invested in our day-to-day well-being. It's a powerful claim of personal hands-on care. So with that in mind, let's move to the second half of the verse and see how this all connects. This is where that idea of intimate care turns into a real, tangible outcome for our inner lives.
I shall not want. Now, at first glance, this seems pretty straightforward. Most of us read this and immediately think it's about not lacking material things. Money, possessions. And while that's part of it, for sure, the original meaning goes so much deeper. This distinction is really the key. The common interpretation is all about external stuff, right? But the deeper meaning is about an internal state of contentment. It's a declaration. It says, with this provider by my side, I have everything I need for this moment. And because of that, I can be at peace. I am content.
So when you lock these two halves together, you get more than just a comforting phrase. What you really get is a logical formula, a pathway that connects trust directly to a state of profound inner peace. I mean, the verse lays out a clear path to peace. It starts with trusting the shepherd, that intimate provider. And that trust, well, it empowers you to release your anxious grip on control, to stop that constant chase for more. And right there, in that release, that's where you find a profound sense of peace. The peace is a direct result of the trust. Now, this ancient wisdom, it isn't just a historical curiosity. It's an incredibly practical tool for all the anxieties that hit us today. It directly pushes back on what we now call a scarcity mindset, that constant nagging feeling that we don't have enough, that we aren't enough, and that we have to just keep striving for more to be okay. So, what's the real takeaway here? Psalm 23:1 is more than a comforting phrase. It's a practical tool, a mental exercise. By repeating it, you're actively choosing to shift your focus from what's missing to what's present. You're literally replacing the story of scarcity with a declaration of sufficiency. So for instance, when you're stressing about a deadline, this phrase isn't about making the deadline disappear. It's about reminding yourself you have the resources, the focus, the skill for this moment of work. It's an active practice.
So let's make this personal. If you truly embrace this idea that you have an intimate provider ensuring you have everything you need for this moment, what part of that not enough story could you begin to let go of today? What worry, fueled by that sense of lack, could this perspective help you finally release?